And now Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Michael Autovino.
Good morning. Happy Friday. It was a record-setting day across Pocatello yesterday. It was the 23rd day that we were at a temperature of 90 degrees or greater, which broke the record of 22 consecutive days set back in 2000. And with the current 7-day forecast, these days will keep coming. We'll continue to be in the 90s for at least another 7 days. Temperatures right now pretty mild out there across Pocatello. We're in the 60s, cooler across the upper half of the Snake River Plain in the 40s. It's 48 degrees right now in Idaho Falls. It's 41 degrees in West Yellowstone. Jackson, good morning. It's 47 degrees in your area, and it's cooler across the Central Mountains. It's 38 degrees right now in Stanley. Storm Tracker satellite and radar picking up any lingering showers or thunderstorms. Those are actually moving through central Wyoming. Those are some of the showers and thunderstorms that did move through Idaho Falls and caused lots of flooding yesterday. We could still see a chance for more isolated storms to develop later on this afternoon, and I'll time those out for you on the future tracker. By about 1 o'clock, seeing some clouds across Pocatello, so not much in terms of precipitation during the early afternoon, but notice the clouds that build in by about 5 o'clock. It was a very similar setup yesterday on a future tracker. These are actually the clouds that produce some moisture, so those are the chance. That's when we could see those isolated thunderstorms develop. These clouds could have some moisture in them, so that's when the greatest chance of seeing any of those isolated storms will pop up, and the greatest chance of seeing any of these storms will be across the upper half of the Snake River Plain, pretty much from Blackfoot northward. Looks like American Falls and Pocatello and the lower half of the Snake River Plain will be mainly dry today, but there's also a chance for some storms to develop along the Idaho-Utah border near Montpelier and even by Soda Springs. But by 11 o'clock, looks like it all tapers off. The storms become very isolated before midnight, and then overnight we'll have mainly clear, see maybe a few clouds in the sky across the Snake River Plain. For today, expect mainly sunny skies. Temperatures very similar to what they were yesterday, mainly in the 90s and upper 80s for the upper half of the Snake River Plain. We'll have a high temperature of 94 degrees in Pocatello and American Falls, 93 degrees in Blackfoot. It'll be 90 degrees in Idaho Falls, and again, any of these isolated storms, the greatest chance of seeing them will be across the upper half of the Snake River Plain by Idaho Falls, Rexburg, and St. Anthony for today. Across the Central Mountains, no chance of any thunderstorms. Expect mainly sunny skies. A really great finish to the work week out there with high temperatures in the 80s to even the mid-90s across Salmon and Chalice. Across the Highlands and western Wyoming, mainly sunny skies, very similar to the Snake River Plain. Those isolated thunderstorms could develop later on this afternoon. High temperatures slightly cooler than the Snake River Plain, generally in the 80s. It'll be 80 degrees today in Island Park, 82 in Jackson, 82 degrees also in Afton. And looking ahead to this evening, those low temperatures mainly in the 50s across the Snake River Plain. Now for the 7-day forecast, looks like the heat continues across Pocatello. We'll have a high temperature of 94 today. It'll be a bit breezy later on this afternoon with winds between 10 to 20 miles per hour. But looking ahead to the weekend, mainly sunny skies across Pocatello with high temperatures continuing to be in the 90s. Across Idaho Falls, isolated storms are possible this afternoon. Even tomorrow afternoon, we could still see some pop up with high temperatures generally in the 80s, and the 90s return early next week. Across the Teton area, Jackson, Afton, and Driggs, isolated storms possible this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, and then Sunday is looking really nice with mainly sunny skies. And across the Central Mountains, sunshine and 90s continue for your area with the mid to upper 90s returning by Monday.